Hello, this is Lakeisha Baker, and I am turning in a voice um, note for this week's assignment regarding first degree and second degree murder as well as manslaughter, and just focusing on the case that we were given regarding the gentleman that took the life of his father. So the question that's been asked is, should this case be prosecuted as first degree murder, second degree murder, or manslaughter? And we are to analyze each theory and explain why the prosecution should or should not proceed under that theory. Based on this case, it doesn't seem to me that Peter premeditated this murder, where in order for first degree murder to even be brought into question as to whether or not that's the level of degree that should be used, it would require that Peter planned out and intentionally carried out the killing of his father, whereas second degree murder requires that the killing either be intentional, which I do believe that it was. That was his recourse in the event that a chicken died, that he would not get kicked off of the farm. So I can say that based on the scenario, he did intentionally take his father's life. But I do not believe, based on the situation, that it would deem to where he plotted. And that's the way that I decipher first degree murder, is that there's some type of plan of maliciousness as opposed to acting in a moment and being reckless, which is what second degree murder is. Um, I don't think that Peter took the time to actually plan out his father's death and again maliciously take his life in a way that would constitute first degree murder. Then there's manslaughter, which that's also obviously unlawful, but it doesn't involve malicious aforethought intent to seriously harm or kill. And since the absence of malice and aforethought means that manslaughter is there and there's less blame, I would have to say in this case that prosecution would proceed with second degree murder. Although, so I think I'm stuck between the two, to be honest. Second degree murder, I'm stuck between second degree murder and manslaughter, simply because there's history of Peter's father being abusive mentally and physically to Peter and his mother and his grandmother. That could be background and justification as to why manslaughter would be chosen. So, with the background information that we have on Peter's father, and along with Peter's father's threat to Peter that if another chicken dies, you will be kicked off of the farm, meaning that Peter would be homeless. And so, to protect himself, his mother, and his grandmother, um, Peter did take his father's life. So, as I'm talking it through in this voice note, I would have to say that I believe prosecutions should um, opt for manslaughter regarding Peter's crime of murder, because again, manslaughter is the unlawful killing that doesn't involve malice and aforethought intent to seriously harm or kill, or extreme reckless disregard for life. I can't say that I believe Peter was disregarding life, even though he did take a life. I don't see the maliciousness in it, more so than I see fear in someone who is battered, in someone who's been um, physically and mentally abused at the hand of the now victim. So that is my stance on this particular case. That is the way that I see it. Again, I don't see first degree murder. I don't see that Peter has been planning this out and maliciously lying in wait for his father to take his life. That did not occur. The thought of murder, I don't believe, even entered into Peter's mind until Peter became um, a victim himself and threatened that he would lose his home and have to be removed from his grandmother and his mother, whom he's trying to protect from his abusive father. So, in closing, I do believe that manslaughter would be an appropriate charge for Peter's crime. Thank you.